in the lesson feed here, the news feed is such an excellent resource. Lots of different sources, and you get the headline, and then you can import it, one click, and you have the article as a lesson on link. So I was doing that pretty consistently. Every night I would read a story or two. Then I was also, I'll just go back to here for now. I was also studying TV shows in French. Now this was difficult, but super enjoyable. I just used Netflix, and I think I watched 4 or 5 shows, like full, sometimes there were 2 seasons or 3. I created lessons with the LingQ browser extension. So if anyone hasn't tried using the browser extension, it's available for Chrome, Safari, and Firefox. And I'll leave the links in the description as well. So it allows you to create a lesson from a show on Netflix. So grabs the transcript, then you have your link lesson, you link words and phrases, then I would watch the TV show with French subtitles. And it's amazing how I progressed doing that, actually, and it's really fun. And the other thing I did was podcasts that time. And I tried a few. I really, really liked the Inner French podcast. If anyone is studying French who's watching or listening, I can't recommend it enough. It's such an excellent podcast.
Is that on YouTube?
Yes, yeah, it is. And I'll put the link. I'll make sure the link is in the description for that. Inner French, I should say. Hugo, who's the host, is just fantastic. So
awesome.
So that's what I was doing. And then I kind of fell off, lost my momentum, and took a break. And I thought, why not get back into it by reading my first novel in French and also doing it with a 90-day challenge. So that's where I'm at now. And as you can see right here, the novel I chose is a Stephen King novel, Marche au crevé, which is The Long Walk in English. It is, I think it's his first ever novel. Like he wrote it when he was in university or something. Not his first published novel, but the first novel that he wrote. I chose Stephen King for a few reasons. Firstly, because I used to be a big fan. I read a lot of his stuff when I was a teenager, and I haven't read anything in years. I thought, great, spooky season is upon us. Let's read a Stephen King. Also, I like that he isn't overly poetic in his writing. It isn't overly like flowery. So I thought that would be helpful with it being in French. And this is a short novel. That's probably the biggest motivation for me choosing this one. So those are my considerations. I wanted a prolific writer, so I was giving myself the chance for there to be a PDF, an ebook, and an audiobook for me online. And there was, and I'll share how I found them in a second. And also, yeah, I liked his style, and I wanted it to be short to give myself a fighting chance of actually finishing it. So here it is. I searched online. So this might be a different way of finding a book. I didn't see what was out there and just choose from a list online. I actually decided what I wanted first and then looked for it. And I found it online. So I just basically put this into Google, and the PDF is online. So the ebook was really easy to find. I just put Stephen King, Marche au crevé. There it was, the PDF. Then I used if you can still see my screen here. Are you still seeing? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I used the import ebook option. And as you can see, there are the supported formats. There are lots, and I had a PDF. So selected the file, which was saved on my computer, and LingQ created the course for me. And let me go back to it. In creating the course, and I know Eric spoke about this in the last live stream, LingQ actually the system creates the parts. So these parts do not correlate to any chapters in the original book. But that's fine, because in the PDF you still have the chapter titles, chapter 3, 4, 5, and the name. So you just see them as you go along. It doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, the system breaks down each part into roughly 2,000 words. So that's why there's that it breaks it down in that way. So yeah, I had the PDF, imported it into LingQ, then go back to the course page. Oops. Then maybe I could have found this information online, but I actually looked at how many words were in each lesson, added them together, and I divided it by 90 because I'm in a 90-day challenge. And it turns out that I need to read around 900 and something words per day. So I find that really helpful, because otherwise you might fall off, do a lot at the beginning and have it fall away. So that's a good strategy that's working for me. I know some days I do more, some days I do less, and I just listen instead of reading and linking. But that was a really good strategy for me at the beginning of September, to break it down and figure out how many words I needed to read per day on average, because it's around 80,000 and something words in this novel. I added this image, so I just found it online. I also added this synopsis in French. If you haven't read the book, it's a dystopian horror, as you can imagine, from Stephen King. And it follows in this dystopian future where there's a kind of an evil leader in the States. There is a competition where teenage boys have to walk a really long distance through the States, and they can't drop below, I think it's 4 miles per hour. If they do drop below, they get a warning. If they get 3 warnings, they're murdered. There's only one winner, and that winner gets a large sum of money and some prize that they get to choose. So
I support the driving above 4 miles per hour, but not the murder part.
Yeah, the murder part is a bit extreme, but it's Stephen King, so
yeah.
It has to be gruesome. And it even is, I'm not too far into it, but I've come across some phrases. Someone was just murdered in the last part I read, and yeah, it's pretty gruesome for sure. But I love it. I do love horror. So I also, I have to say, chose this novel because I read the synopsis, and I like that it's a simple, everything happens on this walk except for flashbacks, of course. So maybe that's another consideration if you're going to read a novel for the first time, is to maybe look at the synopsis and try and find something that is pretty simple in terms of the narrative. So this is the course that LingQ created for me. Now, it's of course fine to just take the eBook and to read and use the text-to-speech for all the words and phrases. I'll just go into the first one, take a look. But I wanted to also be able to listen. And so I found the audiobook, and I found it on Audible. So a quick, if you don't have Audible, if you sign up, and it's free to sign up, you're given they call them credits. And 1 credit is 1 audiobook. So I signed up for free, and I used my 1 credit to get this, which was there, thankfully. And I may now just not carry on my subscription, and I don't have to pay, so it's free. So if anyone's looking to get a free audiobook from Audible, which is Prime, then that's one way around it. If it's there, of course, it's perfect. So one thing, though, with having the audiobook separate from LingQ is that LingQ doesn't track my listening. So as I mentioned earlier, and I'll go to the challenges page for you guys, because I know, tell me you were frozen. So challenges on the web is community, and then challenges. So here you can see there's the 90-day French 90-day challenge, which is what I'm doing. There's also the French 90-day hardcore challenge, which is, I'll take you into there. You have to meet targets for known words, links learned, listening, and reading. So you have to, these have to all go green for you to finish this challenge. It's tough. I always find the listening tough. So that's why I opted for just the regular, let's call it 90-day challenge for this. Let me...
So Elle, when you listen to your audiobook, do you then manually add the listening?
Yes, exactly. So I have to add it manually, but that isn't logged then in terms of my coins and my challenge. So that's a bit of a bummer, but you know, whatever. It should be enough for me to get through the novel, you know, known words, links made, and reading for me to get the coins that I need to complete the challenge. And if it isn't, I'll just listen to some old podcast episodes from Inner French to get the listening in. I'm actually going to do that anyway, just because I miss listening to that podcast. It's great. And I feel like I'll be able to understand so much more, because even having read just, I think I'm 4 parts in, as Link breaks it down, I'm going so much quicker, I've noticed. I'm able to read so much quicker, and I'm finding it a lot easier and more enjoyable as I go, even that far in, just not that far. I have 40 parts, I think, to get through. So yeah, that is a bit of a downside of having your listening be outside of Link, but I find I like having the listening to do alongside the reading. So yeah. Let me take it back.
Let's see, we have a question. Zaria asks, is the extension free? I'm assuming you mean the import extension, and yes, it is completely free. You can find it on Link. You can search for it on Google. There's an extension for Chrome, Safari, and it's all free. And Firefox.
Yeah. I'll pop the links in the description when this is finished. But it's such an excellent tool. You can use it for Netflix, YouTube, Prime, whatever. As long as there are subtitles, as long as there's text, Link will grab it and create a lesson.
If we can circle back on the extension for just a moment.
Sure.
When I joined Link, I joined with my Apple ID. So when you try to log into the extension in the browser, it requests your email and your username, but I didn't use an email and username because I used my Apple. I used Apple. So if someone could at some point circle back with me, if there's a known easy workaround, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay, so Logan, you said that you signed up with your Apple ID.
Like through, how you log in with Apple.
Yeah. So then when you use the importer on which browser?
Safari. So when I click on Safari, it says, okay, log in, username. There's just a box for username and password.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little off topic, but we were right there, so I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no.
It looks like it's not a question you were ready for, because I was like, this might be a really simple question to ask. So appreciate it, but I don't want to take up everybody's time.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for asking.
Our support team should definitely be able to help you with that. So we'll circle back with you.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
What else do I want to say? Oh yeah, I did want to mention too. So that's how I'm studying this novel. That's how I chose it, and I'm getting coins for my challenge through the reading, but not the listening. But that's okay. I just listen. I have the audiobook on in the background when I do things, so it isn't as good as, say, reading through the text and listening at the same time. But it's something, I'm fine with it. It's better than nothing. And I enjoy the sound of the French. I have it on when I'm whatever, doing the dishes, cooking, whatever. I just wanted to say too about these little difficulty percentages here. Can you guys still see my screen? We're good? Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, we can still see it.
Excellent. So as you can see, mostly I'm in the amber, except for, I'm halfway through part 4 here and it's green. So that means it's easy for me in terms of the new words, how many new words in French there are for me. But mostly, I think every single other part is amber. So between, 15 and 20 to 22%. Yeah, there's a red part there. So and I know Eric talked about this last week, I would recommend amber or green. Having a healthy mix in a course of amber and green is probably best. I am finding this challenging for sure, but I'm motivated. So if you are looking to have those colors and percentages guide you, I found that, yeah, you know, in a course that you are going to complete, a mix of green and amber is probably best, unless you are super motivated. But, you know, some of these might go green as I go, actually. So because I'm obviously turning these new words in these earlier parts, I'm linking them. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, that's really, I mean, this is my first novel, and so I don't have any strategies other than just getting through it, honestly, to share with you guys first off. I know Eric shared some of his strategies because he's on his, I think, 9th book. It was very impressive. But I do have some resources for you guys that I wanted to share, unless anyone has any questions about what I've just mentioned, or you can always ask them at the end as well. If not, then I will go into the resources. So I have some resources for eBooks, and then I have some resources also that I found for audiobooks. So obviously I found my book, I knew the book I wanted, and then I just searched it in Google, and there happened to be a PDF online, so I was very lucky. But there are websites too that have free ebooks. One of them is this one, it's Project Gutenberg. You guys may have heard of it. So if you go to, and I will put all the links to the audiobook and ebook resources that I'm mentioning in the description after as well. So if you look at browsing, it's not browsing options, advanced search, I think. Yeah, if you look at advanced search in Project Gutenberg, you'll see the list here is huge. There is a huge, huge list of languages that there are. I mean, of course, in the kind of lesser known, shall we say, languages, there'll be fewer texts, but it's an amazing website. So let's just select, I don't know, check. Search. It also breaks down. Now, a lot of these are older texts, which is tough because, of course, the language is maybe a bit archaic, and so it's tough to get through. There are texts that are, you know, 1950s. The novel, the Stephen King novel I'm reading is, I think, 1979. So they're all free. You know, you click the link, and I think it gives you a bunch of different formats. And as I showed you before, Link accepts EPUB, for example, a bunch. So great resource, totally free. Another resource is iTunes. So there's an option here when you go to iTunes, foreign languages. It looks to be mainly textbooks, but I did see some nonfiction in here. There were some readers, that's right. Short stories for English. There was some Spanish. So, you know, there's a lot to look through there, but maybe more of the popular languages. And then there is ebooks.com is another resource. And I believe, yeah, foreign language studies. So here's the list, a smaller list of languages, but you know, some options there for you. And also Amazon. So when you buy books from Amazon, they're obviously Kindle books. It is possible to create lessons on Link with Kindle books. It's a little tricky. I haven't actually tried it, so I can't take you through it, but there are excellent write-ups on the forum. I'll take you back. So if you were to, yeah. So yeah, if you, for example, go to community and forum and type in Kindle, there is a post, even a couple of months old, detailed instructions on how to create Kindle DRM free ebooks. But this is specific to Windows 10 system, but there's all kinds of amazing information on the forum if you guys haven't checked it out. Basically, any question you have has probably already been answered there. It's a great resource. Yeah, you need to rip the DRM from the Kindle book to be able to create a book, an ebook with it on Link is the only thing. So those are my ebook recommendations. Then, and of course, you can read a book just with the text and use the text to speech. A lot of people just like to do that, but if you do like to also have the audio and be able to listen, some great audiobook resources. Audible, which I mentioned, and I mentioned that workaround. Sign up for free, you get 1 free audiobook. I don't know how much it is per month, maybe someone knows. It's pretty cheap, I
think it's $7 or $9 per month.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. I think I used to have it a while ago.
Yeah.
Not when I was studying languages, just for English books. It's been a while, but yeah, it's great. Lots of choice there, which is a good thing. There is also LibriVox, and if you browse in languages, there is a list here. Again, it's a long list. But, some languages just have 1 book, 0 books. I don't know how that makes sense. But anyway, you have to do some digging around in there. But that's another option. Then Spotify. So I didn't know this actually before I did some research for this live stream. But yeah, there are playlists on Spotify that people make. French audiobooks. There's a bunch of great titles here. Yeah, I'm gonna check those out after.
Do those audiobooks have transcriptions?
No, you would have to find
Okay.
separately. Yeah, I mean, I don't
Okay.
think there's any info to open up here. Go to song, go to album, show quotes.
Yeah, I know. I know for music, like Spotify is trying to add more lyrics to music, but still a lot of music doesn't have lyrics. But they want to add it more and more in the future. So then it would be really awesome to import.
That would be great, yeah. I think with a lot of these, I mean, by looking at this list, a lot of these are older kind of classic books. So I'm sure
pretty easy to find.
PDF would be available online to just download and import, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spotify is another option. Then there's also a site called audiobooks.com. If you go to foreign language titles, very limited, but if you're learning German, Italian, Spanish, other, they lump every other language into other. But again, a site worth digging around on. There's a lot of pages there to look through.
And Beverly here on Zoom just linked a bunch of links and resources for
perfect.
Yeah, for ebooks, and I'll go ahead and put that on. I don't know if it'll fit. It's a long list. I don't think it fits on.
Well, we can put it in the description too.
Yeah, it doesn't fit on YouTube, and it doesn't fit in the YouTube comment.
Beverly, wow, where'd you get this list? We can, it might be worth putting that on the forum and linking to a forum thread.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Then the last resource that I have for audiobooks is unfortunately only available if you happen to be in Canada or the States and you have a library card. So it's Hoopla. To sign up, you have to enter your library card information. Again, I didn't know this existed until I did the research for this live stream, but only Spanish audiobooks. But if you happen to be learning Spanish like you are, Tommy, then it might be just what you're looking for. So
awesome. Hoopla.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll add these links and we'll get that list from Beverly and make that a forum post and make sure that's available as a link too in the description of this live stream on YouTube.
Awesome.
So everyone has access to that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's about it from me. Yeah, I'm finding it really, as I mentioned earlier, the more I get through this novel, the faster I'm going and the more enjoyable it is. So yeah, by the end of this 90 days, I'll have read a novel in French, which is going to be an
Awesome.
amazing thing. Yeah.
And French is, have you ever been to Quebec?
I haven't.
haven't.
I have to get there, but I
Yeah.
haven't. I know it's a very specific kind of French that they speak there.
Okay.
You know, the accent. I love it. I love listening to it. It's very cool. Have you been?
No, I've never. No. One day.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thanks so much, Elle. So guys, we're going to take about 10 to 15 minutes and go into breakout rooms, and we'll gather in like groups of 5 or 6 and just share with each other, you know, how your challenge is going, how you're finding content, and if you got any advice to share, or if you have anything you're struggling with and want some advice, feel free. If you don't want to participate, that's totally fine. But for those on Zoom, we are going to do that. So, and yeah, guys, if you have any other questions, requests on other topics you would like to cover in the next live streams that we do, or anything else, feel free to leave a message in the Zoom chat. And for those on Facebook and YouTube, you can leave a comment in the live chat. Someone just asked, can I use audiobooks in Link? So I just, for this person, I can't read it. It looks like an Arabic name, but I just put a comment above your comment there on YouTube with a link to a blog post that should help discussing audiobooks. So, all right, guys, without further ado, I will go ahead and assign everybody into breakout rooms. So we'll see you. Yeah, we'll spend 10 to 15 minutes here, and then we'll come back and end the webinar. And if you have any lingering questions, we can cover that then. So see you guys. All right. So let's see here, room 5.
Can you go under Hello, everybody. And in the breakout sessions. All right, guys. Hope everybody had a chance to discuss on the breakout sessions. And if anybody has some last questions here, please let us know.
I just want to say sorry for disappearing out of my breakout room. I didn't realize I would disappear when I pressed that button to the people I was speaking to. It was a great chat.
All good, Elle. Yeah, I hopped into different breakout rooms.
Nice.
Nice to see the discussions were going good. But yeah, guys, Elle, thanks again for your presentation on your novel reading and all those resources. And yeah, we're gonna share those resources again in a forum thread. So thanks, guys. Next week we're gonna have Toby, a LingQ user who he was the winner in the June challenge for Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish.
Oh,
yeah.
so
he's gonna be presenting on how he's using LingQ, and he's been very successful with in the challenge in June. So he's gonna present on how he's using LingQ and how his use of LingQ has changed over time. So that's happening next week, guys. Thanks so much, and good luck with your challenge. Happy Lincoln. Again, if you have any suggestions for topics that you want covered in future episodes, feel free to reach out and let us know. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Thank you all.